Alright, so I'm going to link a file into an empty template and show you how that works. So I'm just going to go and open up the file I'm going to link just to show you what it looks like. So if I open the model, we'll look at this file, right? And if I go to my 3D view, this is what it looks like, right? And I'm just going to go to File, Save As, Project, and link. If you're working on a work shared file, make sure you detach from central before you do this, right? Just make it a standalone file. And then before I even link it, I'm going to go ahead and purge it. So I'm going to go to my Manage tab and Purge Unused, check all, click OK, do it again, Purge Unused, check all, OK. You can see the number of things that are being purged getting smaller and smaller, and I'm just going to do that until it says 0, and then I'm going to save it. Alright, now I'm just going to close this file down. It needs to be closed when we link it. I'm going to go to Model New. I'm going to browse to a template. So I'll just use this template here, our AO2 template, and click OK. Now one of the shortcomings that's going to happen when you do this is you're not going to get any of your views. You're going to have to recreate all your views because the views in here are different than the views in the previous project. But I'm just going to go to like my site plan here, and I'm just going to go to Insert and Link Revit, and I'm going to go get that zip. Whoops. So there's the link file, and I'm just going to come down here and do auto origin to origin, so it'll set 0 and 0. I'm going to click open, and it's going to place that guy right there. Right now you'll notice like all my sections and everything are different because it doesn't bring all those views in with you. So there's not a really good way to transfer all of that, so you may want to think about that. But it does bring the grids and levels in. So at this point I can pick the file and I can bind the link. I can bring in the levels and grids and click OK and say yes, and then it tells me I can't bind this because there's an error in something in here. I happen to know, because there's no fast way to do this, that the error is in the structural columns and in the structural foundations. So I'm going to hit cancel here, and I'm just going to delete this link for right now, remove it, and I'm going to go to File and Open, and I'm going to open that link file, and I'm going to go to my 3D view, and I'm going to go to my visibility graphics, and I'm going to select all and turn everything off, go to none, and go down to the structural and just turn everything structural on. There's really no good way to know if you get that error message in the bind. You kind of have to do an analysis, since I tend to start at the structural or maybe the mechanical. So here's here's the structural stuff. So I'm going to select this, right click on it, and select all instances in entire project, and I'm going to delete those. Then I'm going to select the columns, right click, select all instances in entire project, and I'm going to delete those. And then I'm going to save this as a link file, and I'm just going to go ahead and purge it to be sure again. So just purge unused, check all, click OK. Oh, and I'm going to delete this structural connection too. I don't know if that one's part of it, but we don't really need it. So check all, OK, purge unused, looks like we're good. Then I'll save it, and then I'm going to close this file. It'll put me back in here to the blank file, and we'll go to link, click open, select the link and bind it, We'll do levels and grids. Click OK. Say yes. And now it's going to go ahead and link because I got rid of the offending objects. Now, why those objects were offending, I couldn't tell you. There's lots of information on this that's not very helpful online. Just click OK there, and it'll continue to bind that. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Again, the other thing that is difficult is that you don't have the same 3D views. You don't have your sheets, right? So there are some real downfalls to this particular process. Okay. But once it gets done processing, I'm going to remove their error messages. The more complex the file, the more error messages you'll get. I'm going to remove the link, and it leaves it as a group. And if you pick that group, right, you can ungroup it, and it will just get rid of that group, and everything that you had will be in this file, right? Okay. So we're missing some of our materials and things like that. Let's see what this guy looks like, right? It has a different material setting in here for what we had in the previous one, but it does have the materials and whatnot. Okay. You could copy and paste. Oh, sorry, this floor is in here. You could copy and paste the columns and the structural foundations in if you wanted to. You could also bring in view templates and set up more, set up the correct views. It's kind of up to you. All right.